Hey Steve, man, you guys are jumping way far ahead if you want to learn Jane Says. I'm not familiar with Jane's Addiction, but I have heard the song, so I listened to it there on YouTube. That version is actually, I think his guitar is tuned down a half or a whole step, which is probably not something that you guys want to learn right now until you get the basics down. Although you can play it with a standard G chord and the A chord, which I didn't teach you guys. So what we can do is cover the G chord and then we'll move on to A, and I'll just show you a different way to play it. That song has there's sort of a groove thing going on to it. So a lot of it is also what's going on with your right hand. So, okay, so let's do the G chord, and I'll bring up the G chord. Now this one can be kind of tough for beginners because I think just because you're actually using all of your fingers to play it as well as the pinky. Okay, so there's the G chord, all right? So remembering the black bar at the top is here. Our first index finger is going to go in this fret, the second fret. It's going on the 5th string. Middle finger is going on the 6th string, okay? And then these two just kind of naturally come in right there on the 3rd fret of the 1st and 2nd string. See that? So 2nd string, 1st string. So what you have is, that's your G chord, okay? So just practice that a little bit until you get it. Once again, first finger here, middle finger here, ring finger, pinky. Okay, now the A chord, which I taught in the very first video, that is, it would be easier if you bar that chord for this song. So remember I taught you the A chord this way, or you could play it this way, where you're hitting those 3 strings. There's A. So for purposes of that song, you want to bar it, which is using your whole index finger this way, and you're just pushing down on all the strings. Okay? So what you have is this kind of thing. Well, that didn't sound good, but here we go. So that's a little bit sloppy, but I've never played that song before. So kind of what you have going on with the A chord, he's muting the strings by laying these fingers back on top of the strings. So he's not actually pressing down, he's just sort of laying the fingers back down. So it sort of stops the chord. Oh shit. See that? So I'm not pressing down with this finger, I'm just setting them back on top of the strings. So see, when you bring that finger in and you just set them on top, it stops the chord. So that's kind of what's happening there. So I'll let you see my right hand as well. So that's pretty much that whole song. I looked up the guitar tab online. I found the chord list. I didn't see any guitar tablature, but the chords listed for that song are A and G. So that's, I'm assuming they do that pretty much through the whole thing. So get your G chord down and get your A chord down in a bar position this way. Now if you wanted to, you could play it that way. You're just doing a quick change. So that's hard for me to do, so. Not playing very well today. And yeah, if I knew the song better, I could probably show you a little bit more. But I think if you just want to play along to it, that's what you need. G and A. And then you got to get that muting thing down, right? Which is probably a little bit tough for a beginner. But again, that version of that song on YouTube, I see, what's that guy? Dave Navarro, I think? He starts off, the first chord I see is G, and then he goes to what looks like D, something similar to that. He goes from G to D, but you can tell that it's in a different tuning. So, I mean, play the G along with him in that first chord that he plays, and it's obviously, he's tuned it quite low. So I think it's a whole step lower than the normal G. But again, learning tunings right now is probably a bit much, unless you have the basic tuning already down. So yeah, but I think, and maybe even the record version isn't tuned down like that. You might be able to play this standard G and A along with the record. So let me know if that works at all, and have fun.